Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. I have a pretty poor rack, not much on offer here. KG stands out as a 4-letter play, undoubling the C's. Looking at other options to get rid of a C. Yakka onto the A. Even just C-A-Y. De-waxing would be good if I hung on to the I-G and picked up an N. A few things to consider here. Okay. I think C-A-Y-K there for 27 isn't bad. Keeps the IG for the ING extension. And I draw first of the two blanks, but wondering about ING ending words. Board's tightened up a bit as well. Do I burn the blank with de-waxing for 57? Yes, I do. Rickets, a shortage of vitamin C will bring that on. What about crickets? No, that won't play. Tickers and sticker are also good. The board pretty tight though. I've got an N to work with. That might not remain available because this portion of the board in the middle quite tight. The N is still available, so, and Wem takes an S. So Ricketts does play, as does Stricken. Now Stricken scores quite well because it gets the K tripled, but is there a 4-timer? Rickest, no. I think Stricken is going to score best. Yes, 96. That's well worth the risk of a comeback play from opponent. Not a bad draw. If I got rid of PUH, the rack would look reasonable. Not seeing a spot for PUH. Opponent most likely going to play up in the top right hand corner. Yes takes an O above it. Wem takes a B. Meg takes an A, so none of those hooks available with my tiles. Opponent suffering from a vowel shortage, it appears. So I might push forward with the score here. And yeah, 36 looks okay. Not a good pickup. I've duplicated the N and I have the U and Y to deal with as well. So that wasn't great. Now dunny is good, an Australian word for a toilet. That would leave IR on the rack. And 25, half decent I suppose. A lot of I's to come. Do I go with dunny? Or do I keep the D for balance and play undy? Yes, so that's a better rack leave, even though it's too fewer points. Not a good pickup. Duplicate F and I. Biff is good, but that doesn't play anywhere. And GIF no good. unfortunately. Opponent bingos and provides a way for me to get rid of the 2F, so buff for 18. Any front hooks for runless? Not that I can think of. I'm going with buff. Buffy. I think buff might take a Y. Both Ys have been played. I'm going with this. Not good, but knightery is good. And I first saw the rack and thought, ooh, too many vowels, but it helps to learn your vowel-heavy bingos. Knightery, and I think there's an anagram of this. And I'm looking at the F as well, because that looks like it might combine well with the F. Vina, does that take an E? Vinae might be good, in which faintier is not good. I was thinking of faintier like that, but that's not good, no. So is it knightery, and what's the anagram? Intertie, but that doesn't work. What about the G? Reignite and retying, neither work there. So let's go with knightery. Oh, and Airy Knight was the other one I was thinking of. Airy Knight, it just came to me as I hit enter. But I think knightery slightly safer, not leaving the I next to the trip. Now vowel heavy on this rack. Not quite out of sight, but opponent likely to take H1 out. Yep, he's done that. So how about a play down? FAE is good. So do I have an LE or OLE play? Oleate looks all right for 33. Now I've duplicated A and T on the rack, but the J does provide some hope for a good score. In the form of Taj, 26, not a great rack leave. In takes nothing that I've got. This is a handy bingo lane, row 4, as well as row 15. I have a bingo lead, but yeah, a lot of O's, and there's a fair few vowels to come. I think opponent might have been swamped in vowels there. Now, is Taj the play? Juga, Ajuga. I'm thinking of AJUGA, not AGUJA. Do I take out this Could play tat there, creating a J hotspot for myself. There's no X to come, so there's no X hotspot provided there. That's a sneaky little setup. Opponent might think I'm just trying to block bingo lanes, but I am actually doing that, but with a secondary purpose. I'm going with tat for 11. So I've got the Taj Eater play there for about mid-50s. If opponent doesn't take it, and if he does, I have Jiao, Jiao, and Jiaos and buffs. That'll score quite handsomely. 43 points, not bad. So either way, unless opponent plays through the TA or ET and blocks both. Oh, he's left both available. So, what to do? Rune doesn't provide fantastic opportunities for the J. But do I play JA here? That's a 54-point play retaining the S. I think I do. 14 in the bag. Vowels and consonants slightly more balanced now. I'm also retaining the U for the Q as insurance, as well as the S for a QIS play. I don't draw the Q. I have the dreaded WU combo, which I'll swiftly sort out. Now, wisp 34. Buffs and opponent vowel heavy, it appears. Taken out my W play there. Looking at 5-letter plays ending in S. Pious. 33, I'm going with that. Just keep the score ticking along. Now I've got some scoring potential, a million miles from a bingo, but I'll be able to score with this rack, either down the bottom or under Rune, or even under Alu. Okay, opponent has played G for 46, big score. I didn't see that coming, I should have. So that's kind of, yeah, give an opponent a chance to get back in the game there. Now, what about, I have a vowel. Vowels are very heavy. Areolae. No, I don't think opponent's been going with this rack, so don't think the G provides a bingo. So what to do? Do I try orchestrate an out in 2? What about a play of whom, for example? Whom, and then maybe I'll draw a vowel, an E, and then I'll have a good shot at going out with ALV. I think this looks okay. No front hooks for pious. Not that I know of. Okay, I draw an O, so That's not quite what I wanted for the outplay. But vola is good. Doesn't quite work underneath the W. That's a shame. Can I play through the O and WE? Doesn't look like it. Leah, no front hooks that I have. That's a shame. I have vol and low at the top. I have viol 16. Probably better to get rid of the extra tile. Vol. Yeah, I'll go with this. And opponent has a G and T to go out with. Oh, he doesn't spot that. Goes with AE, and then, well, I've got car for 6. I have 7 heart and tar. I have 8. I think 8 is probably going to be the best. Anything else? Oh, accent 8. That's got to be best for 12. And that's the end of the game. 511 to 392. Thank my opponent for the game. Let's see what we missed. Back to the beginning. D-Wax, nice score, but a little bit risky. I almost had the de-waxing play straight off the bat, but Gorsey looks quite good. Gets rid of G and a C and a Y. Very nice rack leave. I spotted the highest score, but that rack leave far superior to this one, hence the 7-point equity difference. And Zen for 54, big score. Now de-waxing comes down for 57, that was best. And opponent's got a few options here, goes for the highest scoring play, Meg. And then Stricken for 96 was best, Tickers and Ricketts. The other two bingos. Opponent struggling with a vowel shortage, goes with Brig. Prudish, wow, that's a big score. Maybe I was a bit too hasty in my push play. Yeah. And opponent still struggling with vowels, but he has got a blank. No bingo playable, as there are no suitable floating tiles, although this I almost helps with pluralizing Meg. Could almost squeeze one out there, but tricky. Nerdy, Dunny, Undy was second best. Nerdy. I quite like the N on the rack, and there were only 3 to come. So, yeah, much of a muchness, that one. Opponent has runless for a massive 91, 4-timer. Biffin, that was the play. 4D, making NU. Nice. I wasn't familiar with that one, but that was definitely the play to sort that rack out. Biff wasn't bad. 28 with that rack leave. Why didn't I consider Biff. Oh, Biff and Fundy. Yes, and Fundy is a word I know, so that would have been quite nice. Yeah, I like that play. Anyway, went with Buff, and now opponent's gone from a vowel shortage to a vowel glut. Vina comes down. Knightery for 83. Where did 14? Knightery Buffy with an I. I didn't know that hook. I thought Buffy with the Y, but Knightery would have been volatile, but I suppose it was semi-volatile up there as well anyway. Yeah, definitely the better play down the bottom, because we both would have had a shot at one of the triple word squares. As it happens, opponent did not have heavy scoring tiles at this point, luckily. Goes with Niddy, and Oleate was the highest score. I pulled the trigger pretty swiftly on that one because I couldn't see there being a higher score than that. And I did see a whole bunch of vowels coming, so I thought if I can get rid of 4 vowels in one hit, that's the play. Then opponent's got Whackf for 38. That would have been a good score on to the F. Goes with an exchange. Now Taught It. Wow, that's quite nice. So 14E, Buffer is good as well with an A. So Taught It. That word, never seen it, never been taught it. So I will remember it for next time. And a good score, AJ Rackleaf, but I kind of like the setup that I did. And then opponent thought, oh, he better sort out his rack, and went with Rune. Now, Widger and Jar. Jar was definitely the highest score by a fair bit. But Widger, 14B, again that A hook buffer. But nothing wrong with Jar. A little vowel heavy, but now the balance has been re-established on the consonants and vowels. And opponents still swimming in a few there. Pious top score, which I went with, but unluckily for me, opponent had the QI comeback and got a 46-point play down there, which put him in striking range, albeit he would have needed a large scoring bingo. And I just thought I'll keep the score ticking along. Now 2A, whom across the top scored a touch more, but yeah, something like our relay. I didn't want to leave the W, although looking at those tiles there was no way opponent was going to bingo through, but he could have played a wheel, which I don't really think I should have just given him a good score. So whom was safer underneath the A of Alu. Still happy with that. And then opponents got Liar. That's one way to get rid of 3 vowels in one hit. 5-letter word. Goes with Lear. And then there were no outplays. Oh, there were. Oval. 2A. Oh, wow. That was remiss of me. Pretty obvious outplay there. So, yeah. Not concentrating at the end of the game. But, yeah, pretty good game all up. Hope you enjoyed watching that game. And I will see you next time.